Bo día a todos, benvidos a esta xornada organizada no marco do proxecto RUSTIK. Grazas por estar connosco hoxe neste evento. Grazas tamén á xente que nos está acompañando en formato online. Para comezar a xornada vamos a ter unha pequena introdución ao proxecto RUSTIK, que é o que organiza esta sesión sobre procesos participativos, multiactor, en concreto presentando 3 proxectos que se executan aquí en Galicia. Primeiro de todo vamos a ter a coordinadora do proxecto RUSTIK, Simone Sterly, de Alemanha, de IfLS, que nos vai a facer unha pequena presentación de RUSTIK. Entón, Simone.
Sorry. So, shall I start again? Thanks for inviting me to this workshop, and sorry for not speaking neither Spanish nor Galician, so you have to do with my English, but I hope it works. I will just give you a very short introduction into the RUSTIK project, not many details, but just to give you an idea of what we talk about. Where do I have to? Sorry, no. Why did we start with the RUSTIK project in the first place? What we realized, or not we, but the European Commission, is that there was a lack of granular data, information, and knowledge on transition challenges in European rural areas. So there was lacking information regarding different aspects, which would be needed to design better strategies, initiatives, and policies that could foster sustainable transition. And on this basis, the European Commission published a call to which we responded, and we designed the RUSTIK project around it. In RUSTIK, we have 3 basic output streams, let's call them. The first one is around data collection methods, data presentation, and so on. So what we're trying to do is to create a European-wide database with information that is relevant for your rural areas. And we are creating local data platforms for 14 pilot regions in which we work in the project. The second stream of work is around policies. So the question how this new data can be used in local strategy development and policy design, and also in new model of what is called the rural proofing mechanism. So making policy rural proof. And the third stream, and that is what I think we are going to hear more about today, is increasing the capacities and knowledge of different actors, mainly, of course, in our pilot regions, but also at the national level and the European level, and of course also with the researchers. As I already said, our main approach is a living lab approach applied in 14 pilot regions across Europe. So you see the countries in which we work in, mainly from the European Union, but we also have partners in the UK and in Serbia as non-EU member states. And RUSTIK applies a transdisciplinary or multi-actor approach. We have 11 science partners, 14 pilot region actors. These pilot region actors, they are different types of organizations. For example, local action groups from the leader implementation. They can be regional authorities. We also have NGOs, so different types of organizations. We have also 2 European umbrella organizations, that is ELARD, which is the umbrella organization for the leader implementation, and Euromontana, which is a lot involved in policy making at the European level. We have 2 knowledge-based SMEs, that's MCRIT, also based in Spain, and MAPITA, which is a small Finland-based organization. And we have also 2 intermediary NGOs. FEUGA is one of them, just to mention. Our main focus is on co-designing of results through a living lab approach. The living lab approach had 3 phases. The first one is trying to identify the needs and gaps that we wanted to address, and also to identify the main challenges. The second phase, and that was the most, let's say, intensive phase, is the so-called data experiment. So trying to find new ways to collect data and to analyze the data. And the third phase, which is coming to an end slowly now, is the policy integration, so using the information in the policy phase. I have just collected or outlined some key themes that are covered in the living labs, and we might hear a bit more about the Galician ones, I think, today. So topics that were addressed are, for example, demographic change, social inclusion, rural businesses, tourism, food systems, environmental issues, digital inclusion, water management, socioeconomic aspects, but also land ownership and quality of life. And the data collection tools and methods that we applied in the project were, for example, surveys and interviews, creation of dashboards, GIS mapping, also participatory mapping, web scraping, multi-criteria evaluation system, decision support systems, AI-driven text generation, statistical analysis, and social network analysis, just to give you an idea. And what we also did is, or what we realized, that the living labs, although all applying the same approach with the 3 cycles that I mentioned, have quite different focus in how they apply or how to focus their work in the living lab. So we found that you could allocate them in a triangle between, and can I do this? No. So on the top, new data, tools and methods, so all living labs that focused on these kind of aspects. Then we have on the left, those living labs that have a strong policy link. On the right, those who mobilize stakeholders. So I don't explain the location of all of them. The colors indicate a bit more the focus of the different living labs. So you see, it's all mixed. There's no clear pattern, which is also nice. And we also realized that the location on this triangle changed throughout the process of the living lab. So while some might have started more off on the mobilizing stakeholder place, moved slowly to the policy link place over the course of the 3 years that they have been implemented. What is next? We have about a year to go. So we are currently concluding the living lab work. We are also concluding a testing of a rural proofing mechanism, a decentralized one, and also the data integration into the viewer. Then the biggest task to come is the synthesis of all our work, which we are already working on. Then we will, of course, also develop some policy recommendations, and we need to disseminate the results to the different types of audience, so the local actors, the national and European level. Maybe in terms of events, just to highlight, this is one of 3 regional workshops. We had already one in Finland, and there's going to be one in Gloucestershire in November. There will be a European-wide seminar in January, I think, to discuss more the implications of our findings regarding policy recommendations. And we will have a final conference, and it looks like this is going to take place, I think, in the end of May at the moment. So, of course, that would also be an interesting event for people to come and join. So if you want to find out more, there's our website, and this is a picture from our last project meeting in Finland with very nice weather. And I'll stop here now. I just have included a few key facts on the project at the end. So if you are interested, you'll find it in the presentation, but I'm not going through the details of who's our policy officer and how much money we have and so on. So I think this was a good start of understanding the project. And with this, I hand over back to Ángela. Thanks a lot.
moitas grazas por esta presentación que nos, coloca un pouco en situación de como empezou este proxecto RUSTIK, que é un pouco os obxectivos que persigue, como estamos avanzando e como se está traballando.